All right.
Welcome to episode 3 of TML Weekly. It's a weird little episode because it's an odd day. It's a Tuesday 6 p.m. game for the Leafs. So I'm not used to seeing that. And there's 16 games tonight, so there's lots going on. So we're just doing a quick intermission recap and briefly go over the Tampa and Florida games.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What
so
was
what do you guys
first?
think of the Tampa game?
Johnny, it's like we're doing Coach
thoughts?
Corner here. I feel like grapes all of a sudden.
I just to tell our viewers and listeners, so I'm blacked out, and we've got a different TV package that we had last year, and I can't get center ice, and it's mayhem down here. So my friend John decides to give me a link that is supposed to, get me the ability to watch the game, and next thing you know, I got 40,000 pop-ups. There's porn pictures. My wife's mad at me. My kid's crying in the corner. He's never seen anything like that before. It's bad. It's bad here. I'm in for a real tough night. So we're going to do a little quick show. And
I was going to say, it's not as bad as our start in Florida, the start in Tampa has been. You know what? Here we are again tonight. We're at the end of the first period. A little bit better tonight, but I can say with 9 minutes to go in the period. I don't know what it is. Start these hockey games. This is not a recipe that is conducive to success. If I'm good to my own horn, I'm always happy to do.
Your feed's really spotty. Can you hear him, Nolan?
Yeah, it's a little choppy though.
You're choppy, John.
Is it choppy? Is it choppy?
Yeah, really choppy. Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Let me see if I can get on somewhere else. Keep jumping, Johnny.
Yeah. So, just to talk about the weekend, you had Florida and Thursday, was it Thursday, and Tampa on Saturday?
Yeah.
I said it last week. I said, if you can go and get the boys together a little bit and get 2 points out of that first two, I'm good with that. And that's what happened. They were able to come back in the Tampa game and kind of show what good teams are made of. So I think they're right where they need to be. I'm not panicking at all. A couple movements with Nyes and Domi, they both stepped up. They got a little bit more ice and that showed. I'm not able to see the game tonight, so I don't have anything I can add from that. But
sorry, Johnny,
I do have one thing to add. I think I said something last week when you started talking, Johnny, about Justin Hall. You were saying, he's on a rebuilding team and, blah, 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 blah. Well, I think he's leading the NHL in plus minus, and I think Detroit's started off pretty good. Am I right?
Buddy, you know what the funny part is? I saw that come out yesterday, and I went, Johnny's going to have a field day with me on this one. He's going to have a field day. But you know what? I'll take my bullets. I still think by the end of the year, Justin Hall will be what Justin Hall is. I think it's an early season mirage, and that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. That Detroit teams are for real. They're the real deal.
Hey, listen. So, sorry, just going back to Johnny, what I was saying at the first. I was a little choppy there. I apologize for the feed. If this is Samsonov in net, it's a 4-1 hockey game right now. Joseph Wall has played fantastic. He stopped Ovechkin 2 or 3 times on point-blank shots. And again, 2 weeks in a row, for all you people that say all I do is hate on the coach, you know what? A great call tonight on the coach's challenge. 10 for 10. I wish we were 10 for 10 in playoff games where we could eliminate an opponent, but I digress. It was the right call. I think it was well worth the risk in taking it. So kudos to the coach for making the right call there. Kudos to the coach for also starting Joseph Wall. I think that's the right call. What I would love to see is I fully support also Bertuzzi being shifted down. He's looking more and more like Nick Ritchie to me than Bertuzzi, to be very honest. And I would love to see, instead of Yarncroc moving up, give that Matthew Nyes a chance, boy. He looked so great there in the playoffs playing with the big guns. Let the guys play. That's my opinion on that for tonight.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's his net. I think he's going to run unless they get a back-to-back here, coming up. I think he's going to get the majority of the starts, and he's earned it. He's paid his dues in the minors. And you know what? Samsonov hasn't had the best start. He's still a good goalie. Maybe he'll suit them better in a role where he's coming in and playing the second night of a back-to-back. And, if Wall can keep healthy, and the more he plays, the more he's going to be, confident. You think back, Jack Campbell was pretty darn good that last year before he left, and he was given the net, and he was very similar situation. Hadn't really had his opportunities in LA, and then once he got it and got to play in front of a good team, and the team has confidence in him. He had a really good year, and then he goes to Edmonton and, wasn't so good, but, I like the kid. I think you got to let him go. And, unless he gets, pumped 6 or 7-0 one night, or, lets in 4 of 8. I think he's got the net for a while for sure.
Hey, what I find is really interesting though, John, is if you go back and you watch Samsonov, I was looking at highlights from when he went on his run back in November of last year. He went on a crazy heater. And you look at him, he's very stable in his net. He's not swimming. His angles are flush. He's post to post. He's east to west really quick. And then if you look at just before the playoffs started, he started wandering. He's sliding all over. He's overplaying his angles. If you look at him when he's square to the shooter, he's given up 3/4 of the net some nights on different sides. And you see him now in the first few games of the season. He looks like Mike Palmateer. He's floating around and flopping and going all over the place. There is something mechanically wrong with him, and I don't know how. I can see that, and most people who watch the game can see that, but they're missing something on the Leafs that's not being identified and worked on. That's a problem, I think.
What do you think, Nolan?
Yeah, he's definitely looked pretty shaky to start the season. I was hoping he'd have a good bounce back, or not bounce back year, but a good bounce back from like the playoffs after he got injured, come back strong. But Wall's definitely taken over, I think, and it's definitely more of a 1A 1B now than starter and backup, I'd say.
So who's coming up? So you got Washington tonight, and then is it Dallas?
Yep.
Dallas and Nashville. I think we're going to
Dallas Thursday, Nashville Saturday.
Yeah, Dallas is going to be a test. Dallas will be the best team they played so far.
I love that goalie for Dallas.
Yeah, I picked him in my family pool. I didn't pick a Leaf goalie because I didn't know who was going to play. So we had to have 2 goalies, and I took Sorokin in the Island because I know he's going to play 75-80% of the start. So even if they're a 500 team, he's gonna have quite a few.
The Islanders are always there though, Johnny. The Islanders are always there.
Well, they're in every game because they play.
That's what I mean.
Right.
But before we get off track here and we start talking about something else that I wanted to bring up and get your opinion on, is anybody concerned that Mitch Marner has 2 5-on-5 assists this year?
No,
we're not concerned at all. Nobody's concerned yet with the 5-on-5 play for Marner.
No, he's a top player in the league.
Johnny, that's not what I'm saying though. I'm not saying he's not a top player in the league.
He's going to get back there. He's not a marginal guy that had a flash in the pan season and has a slow start. He's a legitimate superstar that will figure it out. He'll go off and get 4 or 5 on one of these games on this trip, and then things will be bouncing off him. That's what I think. My opinion.
Okay. Yeah. I just thought it was interesting. I was looking at it and I went, he's got a goal and 4 dimes, but only 2 of those are 5-on-5.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought like that's just something to pay attention to. It's on my radar as something I'm paying attention to.
Yeah, he's going to be 90 to 100 points easily, and half or more of his points are going to be 5-on-5.
Is anybody just a couple of quick hits here before we get going? Is anybody surprised at the early results from Boston?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I had them having a big fall off this year, losing Bergeron, Krejci, Bertuzzi, Orlov, Hall. I thought they were going to plummet down the standings with Zaka as their number 1 center, but I don't know. They've been playing pretty good.
I can't I can't say that I believe in them yet. I think it's an 82 game schedule, right? A lot of teams start off hot. Let's see, talk again around American Thanksgiving, and I think they're more what we thought they'd be, and that's a game or 2 over 500. That's my prediction. Write that down. Yeah.
And how do we feel about the Florida road trip?
What did I say last week?
You wanted a split. You got a split.
Yeah.
It was a Hail Mary split, but we got a split. Are we concerned that there was the Hail Mary split, the Hail Mary against Montreal, the kind of all over the map? We're slow starting again tonight. At what point are we concerned that it's a trend?
February.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus, Johnny, we'll be out of the playoffs by then.
No, you're 3-2, right? You're playing 660. Yeah, I'm not worried.
To be fair, and I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate here. We're 3-2, but we can be 1-5 comfortably.
Yep. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So could most teams. Here's the thing. It's an 82 game schedule. This is a brand new team. You have your core, but people think, oh yeah, Toronto Maple Leafs, from last year. It's a new team. It's a new manager. You got some new key players. You got some new younger. This is a brand new team that's learning how to play with each other. It's 15 to 20 games before you know what you are. 10, you might have a half decent idea, but not yet. I mean, it's just a crapshoot right now, and that's the same with Boston. Boston got some puck luck, and
100%.
And they come out, strong like that. Same with Vegas. I mean, Vegas is obviously Cup champs. You got to respect that. I don't think they're as good as everybody's making them out to be. I still like LA, Dallas, and Colorado better than Vegas in the West. I still like several teams ahead of Boston in the East. It's there's a long way to go. So I look at it. We just gotta wait it out. Enjoy the games that if you're able to watch them and you're not blocked out like we are, and I wouldn't panic yet.
All right. I think that's you know what, we're getting ready to go here for the second period.
Yeah.
So I think we'll get her going. And wait, what is that? Hold on, is that music? Is that grapes? Is that the CBC telling us we got to get off the air? I think it is. The CBC's constantly telling us we can't get off. We never get enough time. At the end of the first, here we go. Go Leafs, go. Have a good time, boys.
Hey guys, yeah, we'll talk next week. Thanks.